May pips and high percentages be upon you. How you doing, traders? How you doing? I hope today was a great day for you trading wise. Welcome to the Tuesday weekly forecast update. All right, this is the Tuesday update, and what I'm doing is going over the trades that I called, well, the setups that I called in the Forex Weekly Forecast video. You can check that out on my channel when you get a chance. Hit that button below the screen for uh, where it says find where you can find me, and that'll be on YouTube. Now, let's start off with the Dixie. What was my call? My call was price was going to reject from this order block here. I gave a lot of analysis with this uh, fair value gap here and all this good stuff. Price broke to the top side here, breaking structure to the top side. And then I said price would return to impulse, and that would be the impulsing order block here. There's a 2-day order block here. To see it, you'd have to go to the 2-day time frame, and you can see how well formed it is. Price found it. Also, there was a trend line that I drew. All right, this is a magic trend line for retailers, of course. They're always magical. But this time, it was just used as a secondary confluence. All right, and price hit it. Price hit the order block and rejected well, and it has gone up to 503 pips. That is a pretty good call, I would say. And let's move on to the next. EU. Let's get on back to the daily first, and we'll look at EU. EUR USD. All right, how did I get there? All right, let's take a look at this. All right, now what happens is, uh, what was my call? The call was price would turn bearish once it hit this order block up here. All right, and that's exactly what it did. Why did it hit that order block? Because we had a break of structure to the downside. This low was broken, and after a significant break of a swing low, if that swing low is significant enough, like structure, like a higher low that makes a higher high, uh, you expect a return to impulse, and it went past this this order block. But was this the originating impulse? No, this was the originating impulse. The order block was, and there's a 12-hour order block up here. Now we could have easily have used uh, the daily order block here, but the 12-hour was a refined version of it, and you can see it here. All right, where we had this 12-hour nicely formed order block there, and price rejected very well from there. And what? How much did price move? I will tell you right now. It moved 40 pips from the order block. All right, it's actually moved 50 pips from the call. Actually, no, no, I was wrong. I was wrong because the call went out on Sunday. The call went out on Sunday, and price came back to test this order block here. Came back and retested this 12-hour order block, and then fell. So it fell about 40 pips, and we're doing pretty good on that call, I would say. Let's move on. Pound USD. That doesn't say pound USD at all. What is going on with me today? I need something to eat very bad. Okay, let's go to the pound USD. What was my call here? Oh, yeah. This red line usually means there was a shift in momentum, and we went from a bullish momentum to a bearish one. Oh, well, actually, we went to a bearish one, sorry, to a bullish one because it broke this level of structure to the upside. That gives you an indication that things are getting ready to turn bullish, but it's going to return to impulse. and that was this order block down here, this daily order block. All right. And I went inside this daily order block and found I believe that's a, oh shoot, that's a, where am I going? Yeah, that was this is the daily order block, and this one is, I believe, a more refined version of the daily order block inside this original order block. All right, this is the original impulse, and price came back to test it. Came within 50% of this institutional candle, and then reversed out. We had a break of short-term highs here, so you can expect price to want to come back down and test the original impulsing order block here. But in the meantime, price came up here on Friday, and my call was price would descend from this point because it's a daily order block up here, well formed over here. Okay, very well formed. It was tested, and this was the second test. This must be pretty strong because it didn't have to go deep inside in order to be rejected. How far did it fall? Uh, it never even got back up there, so it fell 100 pips from the forecast video call, and that proves it was a pretty good call. Let's go to the pound JPY. Do it slow this time. All right, same deal over here. Price came up to this 2-day order block I had up here. Right, this was the original impulse. All right, price broke these short term lows. This one here, this one was a pretty significant one, and I broke another short term low here. I'm looking for the return to impulse, and I expected price to come all the way back up this way. All right, price instead started to hesitate around this level. So I looked and said, why is it hesitating around this level? I looked on the 4 hour, found an order block. Price spent a lot of time at that order block too, and rejected. Right? So I said I made the call that price would come down from there, and price did. Price did start to come down from there. It went as far as about 75 pips. Okay, this was a good call. Now price is rejecting up. Interesting enough, and I had pointed out, I remember, that price did make a higher low here, just same way I said it on the pound USD. So price did make a higher low here, and it didn't break this high. All right, so I have questions as to whether it will make a higher high here. I'm looking for the higher low to be made and secured, and price to continue in this bearish market. Okay, next, let's go to Aussie USD. All right, what was the call here? I said price was going to start to fall from this order block. Why? Price had a break of structure here, and we went back to a return to impulse. And this was a nice order block to look at. This was the target, and it hit that target, and price has fallen 86 pips. All right, so this was a great call, in my opinion. Next, USD Cad. This one's going the other way. We had a break of structure to the upside, indicating prices are going to continue bullishly. I'm looking for a price to make a higher low relative to the lows here. And I want to see that return to impulse. All right. The impulse was down here at this 2-day order block, all right, with a daily order block embedded in it at the same level. So this one really doesn't really need to be made. All right. Here's another order block here, and I was thinking price would likely respond to the one this one is responding to, and that's exactly what it did. And look how far it jumped, man! I called this, man. Y'all got to get up on this. This is 143 pips to the upside. 143 pips to the upside. Now we are testing an order block right now. You see the rejections from it, and could be quite possible that we might see some time being spent here. Okay, Keep an eye on that one. NZD, New Zealand dollar USD. What was my call on this one? I said price would reject from this daily order block, like the others, like its sisters, the NZD USD, the the GBP USD and Euro USD. All right, and that's exactly what it did. It has fallen from there about 70 pips. Yeah, and uh, this was also a good call. All right. Why did it make this call? Why did I make this call? Because it had to break the structure to the downside. You figured it was I want to go over this one because you figured it would go to the impulsing order block. Well, it beat that it took it out. Took out that order block and kept going. It had to break the structure to the upside. Why? Because USD got weak. Remember last week, and there was bad news for the USD. There was coronavirus statistics. There was the Fed chair giving dovish comments about putting off tapering, and then there was the NFP. All that got everything surging up as the USD weakened, and now we're seeing a reinvigorated USD, and it's pulling price back down. All right, let's keep an eye on this one. This is going to be a good one. These are the because it had a break of structure to the upside. I'm looking for a return to impulse. Look at these possible targets where price could potentially reverse. Okay, these are daily order blocks. Next, let's go to gold. Gold was a good one. Let me tell you that. Why? What was my call? We had a bearish order block up here. Price reached the edge of that bearish order block, like the pizza commercial. Take it to the edge. All right, we took it to the edge, and price fell. Price fell from here. I thought there was a chance that price would violate this order block and continue higher, but this is a triple top. Can you see a triple top? And a triple top uh, is something you should always sell. This is a bearish correction, all right, a very complex correction, right? And but you can see that the with a break of structure to the downside, you're looking for a return to impulse. It did come up and hit that impulse. And what do I expect? Price to continue in the direction of the bearish momentum, because that's what was established here. Okay. So how far did it fall since the call? 3,605 points, and you can tell me how many pips that is if you want to. I'll let you do those calculations. Next, US 30. Uh, is this the right one? That's not the right one, is it? Let me see. There you go. All right. What do we have here? What was my call? The call was bearishness. All right. And but I didn't call it on the daily. I called it on the 4 hour. Why? Because I had to see the price action. It's very hard to call uh, order block when price is at all time highs because there's no bearish order blocks in which to gauge anything off of up here. We're in price discovery, so it's very hard to go above this and say, oh, it's going to bounce off of that order block and return to impulse and everything. No, it's kind of hard when there's nothing up here yet. All right, and price is always going up. So, with that in mind, what did we see last? All right, what we saw last. Let's take it from. Get it here. All right, this was where I saw it last, and I called for bearishness on the. This was Friday, and I called for bearishness on that Friday. I mean, on the weekend during the weekend here, and I said price. This was where it was. I said price would more than likely return to impulse, and then continue bearishly. And I actually drew uh, a scenario with my red highlighter. I said price will probably come back up, test the order block, and then drop. All right. Now I said a bunch of things. All right. I mentioned this long time trend line. We happen to. I said it could very well test that trend line, but price is always going up with the Dow, always going up. Even when it has its pullbacks, it finds its support and continues up higher. So, it's always a matter of time. All right. We did hit the trend line today, and we found that in this 12-hour order block. Now, just to tell you what I see happening from this point, I see some bullishness happening here, but I want you to understand something. We are in we have bearish momentum at this point as we've broken 3 short-term lows. All right, there is room for price to go a little lower inside of this this order block. It could go down to this 4-hour order block before it turns around inside the 12-hour. Okay, so that's just something to bear in mind. Keep it in mind. All right. Hopefully, we see more bullishness from this, and we can recover from this drop it took today. All right. A return to impulse, maybe to this order block here, this daily order block here, and then a resumption of the bearish momentum. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. That's the scenario I'm looking at right now. Let's look at U.S. oil as the last one. Oil. Is this the right one? I hope so. Yeah, this is the right one. I had this trend line going, and price was at the trend line come Friday, right? It hit that trend line, and I said, "Well, it's probably going to go on bearish from there because there was a 12-hour order block up here that it was inside of, and because I couldn't see an order block here, but I saw, if it's hitting a magic trend line somewhere, it's because there's an order block somewhere. Price only changes direction because of order blocks. Make no mistake about that. It's not going to be because of some magic trend line you just drew on your chart. Don't be silly. All right. Anyway, so it did drop, as I said, and it dropped to the tune of about 200 points. Okay, that's awesome. That is freaking awesome, and I'm hoping that price will continue with the bearish trend because we have uh, a turn here as price broke structure here, found this order block, this daily order block. It returned to the impulsing order block. All right. Now we exceeded a couple of highs here, so I want to be careful with this. Okay, this is a 12-hour order block, and that's pretty strong. I want to make sure that the order block is going to be respected. You see this test here, this this test here, testing this order block and respect. I just want to see the order blocks are being respected and not uh, the bullish order blocks. I want to see those broken on the way down so that it could confirm the bias here. The bias right now is bearish. And I want to see the continuation of that without screwing up somebody's money. Anyway, this was a good call. All of them were good calls. And I urge you to take a look at that Forex weekly forecast that I put out this past Sunday. I'll leave it up on the screen as I leave you. And I want you to subscribe so that you can get down on these biases and take advantage of them, and make sure that you get your updates. Okay. And I'll see you in the next video.